and I have been fine for many, many months. And I mean, we totally mended issues, and I look out for her. She, well,
Tennessee Truth.
oh, we're gonna talk about
kind of girls.
We're going to talk about that.
Hell yeah, this is on
Tennessee Truth put in a text
Here it begins.
that I've seen with my own two eyes.
Want me to
My own
put it up
two
right
eyes.
now?
If you want. It says that Ziggy interviewed Frank Light.
Yes, she did. Okay, so hold on a second. Let me grab that. Thank you. Thank you for bringing me back to.
I think Ziggy's just jealous she doesn't have a male counterpart that could help in that way. But however, Ziggy allegedly interviewed Frank Light. Now, we've not heard any of that, and that's if you believe what Tennessee Truth says. But they do have the word truth in their name, don't they?
Sheep.
Yes. So everything she says should be truthful.
Getting them in
All of
line.
it.
Because she's the truth of Tennessee.
That's right.
Yeah.
Eastern Tennessee. Yeah.
Eastern Tennessee.
Eastern.
Yeah. All right. So here's this was January 13th of 2022. This was a year ago, over a year ago. Hold on. FBI was at Frank's around the time Ziggy left. I don't know what happened. That was his voice on that recording with Fred. I've been a wreck all night in the morning. I thought of her having her daughter around him. Okay.
Oh,
Get
goodness.
the live chat up.
Say it ain't so. Are you kidding me? Ziggy took her kid around Frank?
I never knew Ziggy interviewed Frank. I never knew. So hold on, let me put this up. This came from Tennessee Truth. I'm sure she can verify. And sorry, Tennessee Truth, but I got nothing for your girlfriend. Like, I really don't. I care more about Summer than your text. So, hate to do it to you, but sometimes shit happens.
It definitely runs downhill.
Yeah. Well, after I went and found what I did last night about Linda.
Linda.
And that I have to thank Benny for. I would have never gone through my texts if I didn't see that he was questioning a link, like a familial link between Tennessee Truth and Scott H.
Space on a phone.
And when he brought that up, I'm like, no.
For all your stored information. I don't.
And
you must pay a lot of money for your phone.
I didn't go back far. I mean, it might be like fourth, fifth cousins or something. I don't know.
Well,
but
or by marriage, they crossed up some kind of way.
Or by marriage, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But that's what actually prompted me to go, and I never go back through old text messages, but I did with these, and I sure was glad that I did, because when I opened them and found that Tennessee Truth's kid's been going to Linda's, the Tucker Drywall babysitter,
their
whole lives. And I'm like, so at that point, when she told me that, it wasn't clicking in me. Like, it wasn't at the stage that it is now where I'm looking at Linda. I didn't know who Linda was when she told me. You know what I mean?
I didn't even know who Linda was when I fell asleep on her.
Can I tell you, I do remember her saying she had Linda for me to talk to, and I did not want to talk to Lee. I had no clue who she was or what she would want to even talk to me about. And then she said she had recordings. I was like, I'm going to stay away from that. Turns out, it's Listen Linda. So.
Yeah, Listen Linda, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so open that. So I'm going to share this, okay? And Tennessee Truth, I want to make sure that I say this. I am not attacking you, and I'm not going to ever put any kind of text messages out that would reveal your personal, I just need to say that. I need you to know that I'm not maliciously I need to do what I need to do, but I'm not trying to hurt you in any way.
No.
I'm going to show your personal life stuff is safe.
Who would even think that?
So,
Who would even think that?
I don't want her to get nervous like that. So, let me put
start eating her nails like Ziggy.
Well, I mean, this stuff is important, and let me just make sure. Okay, I just want to make sure there was nothing in it before I put it up. I don't usually make mistakes. So, on January 13th, thank you for bringing this up. I would have forgot. Ziggy interviewed Fred and Frank. I didn't answer. I don't know if I was busy.
Excuse me.
Or maybe it's because she sent this at 12:25 and then 7:49. FBI was at Frank Light's yesterday around the time Ziggy left. I don't know what happened. That was his voice on the recording with Fred. I've been a wreck all night and morning. The thought of her having her daughter around him, I'm a crying mess. Now, that's understandable if she had her daughter around him. Yeah. I didn't know that she even interviewed Frank Light. Did she? Does anybody know if Ziggy interviewed Frank Light? Because Tennessee Truth is adamant. Ziggy interviewed Fred and Frank in capital letters with a crying face. FBI was at Frank's yesterday, and that it was his voice on the recording with Fred. Now, which recording with Fred, I don't know. Let me read my chat real quick. I'll put this full screen for you guys for a sec.
I see you, Leslie. Hey, baby.
Leslie, Shaney, Tiffany, please forgive. But
I have to check it out. I got some moderators that ain't playing the game straight.
Yeah, we've all been. I think a lot of channels been having moderator issues. Really.
Yeah, there's lack of
Blame it on the
there's a lack of
moderators,
integrity
of course.
around here.
Yeah.
Hey Sage, how you doing, baby?
Ziggy went to Fred's on her first trip to Tennessee with kids in the car and her phone recording the conversation. Yeah, but I was curious if she met with Frank, because Tennessee Truth said she did an interview with Frank. We've never heard that before.
Negative.
Ziggy puts a lot of faith into Fred for not having a clue who he was before he showed up on his porch. She showed up on his porch.
He's a damn marksman. He's a marksman.
She's very, yeah, she likes Fred a lot. I would not have gone up there at 2 a.m. by myself. Ziggy is, I'm going to say she's real reckless with
because
her
you never leave your house,
safety
Tiffany.
and shit. But okay, maybe to test their research skills. He didn't mention they were related till they told him they were doing a family tree on her. Scott, you mean? Penny?
Yep.
Yeah. So it is interesting, right, Sage? So it's interesting also.
Scott really ruffles
And I
their
want to pull
feathers.
it up. Let me
They are
see
so
if there's
determined
anything
to
else
find
that's
something
important.
on him.
Okay.
That was pretty
I thought I knew. Okay, so Tennessee Truth tells me, I thought I knew who Scott H is, but I'm thinking I might have been wrong. So she's questioning, and I'm not going to put this one up. It's just, you can
Because
take
at
my
that
word,
time,
she
Tiffany,
could confirm it. It's really
you were
what she said
so
or not,
desperate
whatever.
to find some dirt on
I
Scott
thought I
H
knew who
that you
Scott
could
H
not
is,
figure
but I'm
out who he
thinking
was.
I might have been wrong. Can you tell me he's not a light? Question mark. I'm going to leave that part out. She talks about her daughter.
When Scott did that rant on her, that was
Okay,
just,
and then it says,
I mean,
I really want to,
classic. But
I should probably leave this one out.
she was trying so hard to find out who Scott H was.
This is so hard now, because I'm not trying to
censor yourself.
No, I don't want to put her personal business out on Front Street. There's nothing that important in that one that it would need to
You
be
would
that
never
way.
put anyone's
Okay, so
personal
January
information out.
27th. I do not know if you know this or not. I said it on Squalls that she privated now. Now, here, I'm going to say this again. I don't know if you know this or not. I said it on Squall that she privated now. I want you to know she said it was publicly stated, because I wasn't even going to read this one either until I saw that. My aunt was also raped by Frank and Grady Light. I don't know how to say that without naming it and making sense to people. So she said this on Squalls. It was deleted. These are, so there's some kind of strange dynamic going on with the locals, and not all locals, but a specific group, it seems, of locals. There's some real strange action going on and weird movements surrounding these people and what they do, and a lot of distractions that are being tossed into Summer is getting completely lost in the shuffle. She's been lost since like month 3. So
it's like insane to me how like, so when you think of the ring of locals there, that even tied in Brad and Tennessee Twister and you know, I mean, just on and on and on. Scott, all these people, Jody, like you've got Tennessee, and I'm pretty sure I've figured out who she is. I'm not going to say, but I'm pretty sure I've figured out who she is through like extensive research. But you've got Tennessee, who's tied to Tucker, right? And she's been taking her kids there their whole life. Yeah. So what does that mean? Does that mean that she's like her kids her kids' father worked for Tucker? I don't know. Like it's a whole bunch of things. But then you got
Tucker
Scott
has
saying
done nothing wrong.
He's known Don's foreman and co-workers for 2 decades because he's involved in the business. He's been very successful. And
that's right.
I don't know, maybe he has some stock options in Home Depot or something, but the point is, you've got all of these locals all tied together. They're saying, you know, they're saying they're not, and they're doing weird stuff. But and mostly what bothers me is they say that it's everyone else ruining
the YouTube
but
drama.
Everyone else. It's everybody else. But these people who live there.
They're crazy involved in all of this stuff.
Because you people involved them.
I have some worksheets, some note sheets
Tennessee Twister out
truths
on their platform
that have me related to somebody named Danny Keys who OD'd on meth. Yeah. And I mean, like the most. I have a lot of your stuff, Tennessee. And you, my friend, are absolutely crackerjack. You are crackerjack.
She's a bit crackerjacked, yeah. So this is the one we shared last night. This is the one that bothers me the most out of anything because this is like 3 links on a chain, right? You've got Linda.
This one's a little troubling too, though.
Yeah.
All right, now here it comes.
You can see it, right?
And this one too.
Oh, where's that at? Yeah. Careful with that because I don't know if there's names like.
Oh, this name's all over it. Oh, tied in incorrectly and all kinds of weird stuff. Like it is a virtual nightmare of names in situations this lady has put together. You are batshit crazy, Tennessee Truth.
It's really mind blowing to me how the monkey wrench gets like, and I'm looking back a year later and questioning so many things that wouldn't have stood out to me before. She even went as far to tell me that she found out something terrible. Whoever did the billboards put the wrong phone number on it. It's a muffler shop, not the sheriff's department. That is not true because I checked immediately. These are the types of things that it's like the chaos that ensues around here, right? So that's a perfect example of why. But if you haven't seen this,
it's like the lady wanted to come to you with the craziest things and she wanted you to go on your platform and make an idiot of yourself with this stuff.
Well, what happened was she did come on my platform and she spoke about a very traumatic event that she alleged happened to her, and she did utilize my platform, and immediately after she got real weird, and I mean, I've been talking to her in a long time. I don't even care about any of that. I care about Summer. Tiffany. This is a problem here because Linda and Scott
utilize it,
and Brad's brother possibly. So the link here is. And follow me if you don't know, because there's people who might not know in the chat. And sorry if I'm missing anything. Linda is Penny. Is Penny in here?
Oh, is Penny in here?
Hey, Penny, is that video still up of Linda?
Damn well she is.
Hold on. You might be muted. Let me go look. So I'm going to drop this in my chat real quick.
And I'm not going to talk about Penny.
Is it on Blood Money or is it on Benny Keys?
I'm more disappointed in Penny.
Okay, hold on. I'll go find it. So I'm going to drop this in the chat to you guys. If you haven't heard it, Linda is the woman who babysits for all the Tucker Drywall kids. She's the one that said that Don Wells left work at 3:30 on June 15th. That information came from Linda. She allegedly here, Tennessee Truth told me this a year ago. I just didn't notice that her kids went to Linda's daycare their whole entire lives. So that there was already a connection. I just didn't know because I wasn't really concerned about the Tucker drywall lady, the babysitter or whatever, who said she knows Tucker. Now she doesn't know him and she's never met him. She just babysits all of the employees' children, but she's never met Rich or Tucker. Okay, Linda, sure. So then you've got Scott, who has ties with Linda, right? So, like, this is a problem.
Absolutely.
Linda lives next door to Brad Wishon 423 Chase's brother. And I don't care if it's
So, because
117
Linda
acres
lives
away. Their
next door to
properties are
Brad
adjacent
Wishon's
to one
brother, which
another.
I don't know
That's
that to
a
be true,
problem
but
for me.
let's just say it
423
is.
Chase,
This
TT,
is a
Scott,
reflection
Linda,
on Scott. Come on.
Gene Wishon, a actual registered violent
What the
criminal
hell
sex
does that
offender.
have to do with Scott?
So
Even if
that's a problem.
everything you
This
say is
here
true,
is what's
even
most
if
important to
somehow
me.
by
Not
marriage
Ziggy,
he's
not
related
but I'm putting
to
this up. It's important. Make sure you don't forget
Tennessee Truth,
the
the
link
fact
here.
that she lives
That's an
beside
absolute arrow pointing in the
Brad
direction
Wishon's
of
brother
a
is a
specific
reflection
group
of Scott's
people,
character?
in my opinion. Just
Come on.
I think that's a widely held
Don't be
opinion
a
as
sheep.
well. I mean, it's
It's
this
so
is
funny
I mean,
how these people
6 degrees of separation regularly.
lead
I get it, but like these people
to think
basically
one
are
way,
all saying they
and
know
then
Don, but they
a
won't
month
say they
later
know Don.
lead them all back like
That's
a
what
herd of
that's what
sheep
they're saying, right? Like
to think
she's been
it's
taking her
totally
kids there
opposite.
for their whole life. Scott knows everyone around Don, and he's known him for 2 decades because he's in the
Because
business.
he grew up
right? He's
there,
very
you
successful.
idiot.
It's not
Atlanta.
You guys all
It's a
know everyone around
rural
Don, but you don't know Don. But in fact,
Tennessee
Linda tells Tennessee
community.
that Don leaves work at 3:30 that day. You're all tied together. I don't give a shit. Pardon my French. What you
Because
say?
they live in the same
You
area.
are
That's
all
the
tied
tie.
And it's very strange that some of you are the involvement with some is more than others. Like maybe Scott doesn't want to go out and
I have a
do
sex
any
offender
real
that lives on
searching,
my street.
and he lives so close. He's
So
tied to
that's a
everyone.
reflection of my
Doesn't want to
character.
go do any real searching because of his past with the police or things he may have been saying present that. But there's other counterparts. There's other moving pieces that are tied
There
to
are
them
no
that
moving
will do the
pieces.
things that he hamstrings himself to be able
You
to do,
people
right?
don't like
So,
Scott. That's the moving pieces.
I don't know, but all of these
And
people
Scott,
know each other.
if there
And that
was
there's a real
anything
concerted effort
that
to
y'all
make
could
it look like
trash him with,
their
you'd have
involvements
already
with each
found it
other
and
are
done
as
it.
vague and generic as
But you
possible.
haven't found it. Why?
Right?
If
They don't
this
want
is
to
the
make it
best
look like
you
what it
have-
actually is. They can't. This isn't to be seen.
Ugh.
This is someone very early
Y'all
on
are
telling
sad.
you too much with a
So
big mouth.
sad. And the childish
Caslin
name
says
calling
Linda
and
equals babysitter
snot
and neighbor.
and,
Brad,
how
Brad's brother,
stupid.
TT, Snot.
Come on.
Sounds like a Jody Sue story. Hard to follow.
There you
No,
go,
this is a
Caslin.
lot easier to follow than a Jody
There
story.
you go.
People,
Yep.
use your own
And Scott
brain.
known the PI for years.
Quit giving
Absolutely.
these
Right?
Yes.
Like there was a time
shady
there was a time
grifters
when I had asked
credibility.
Chris, I was like,
There's nothing
You know, how often
that
do you
these
talk to
Benny
Scott?
or
And
Tiffany
Chris
has
thought that it
ever
was
done in their
interesting
life to
that Scott
deserve
would rather
trust,
speculate on the internet like he was
to
instead of call him and get
deserve
the information.
cash apps,
Really?
to
He
deserve
said that?
anything.
Wow. Grammy says, question, isn't it against the law for a sex offender to live near a daycare? I know it is where I live. Grammy, that's what I said when I found out. I'm like, how many yards is this guy from her house? She's got the kids over
Trust
here,
me,
and you've got this.
we don't live close
you know,
together in the country.
I mean, yeah, that's a problem. Well, maybe
I would
someone
have a
should check
problem
into that.
with that myself.
These
But
boys
I
and
mean,
those
she's got a
boys.
legit website up that, you know, she advertises her daycare at, and she's got a registered sex offender adjacent to her property. But if you ask Linda, she's like, no, he's really far away. He's like
He could be.
around the
He could be.
around the corner.
My next door
But
neighbor
his property
is
adjacent to
I don't
her.
know.
So
3
It's
miles down the
phenomenal.
road.
This is all phenomenal.
how did Brad 423 Chase end up here?
Because
And
of
Linda.
Penny. God bless her soul, she was
That's a big
duped.
deal to me. I'm
But
never going to
Penny-
forget the 423 Chase shit. I'm never going to let that go. And I will find out more. I promise you. It is the first thing on my list lately. And I'm very,
God
very
knows
bothered
that
still by
list.
423 Chase.
Luda says that's why she said he's over the 3-mile radius. She later said he's over 2 miles.
Who said that? Luda?
Yeah, Luda said that.
And probably is.
Let me see. Angie, yes, I will absolutely call you. I miss you too. Soon, actually. I will
This is
love
Nikki
your
right
energy.
here, the one that
Yes,
Um,
curiosity.
Rub off on you too.
says she
He's
knows
got
information
Now,
about what
Scott's had
Summer
his
is,
since
but she can't
2013,
tell. Is that the one?
his YouTube
Yeah.
channel. But I don't know about what he posted or didn't post before any of that. But I can tell you that all of them, certainly there was a jump off point where they all became very active and they all live right there. And I want to clear some up for CZ. CZ really just jumped on something I said.
Okay,
was
yeah.
more of it wasn't. It was like it was like metaphorically, like, but like she thinks that I actually meant Scott was 3 blocks away from Candace and Summer the day that the Summer went missing. He's not. He's like an 11-minute car ride. But that's
11
like,
minutes.
yeah, that's like 12 hours and 50 minutes close, or 11 hours and 50 minutes closer than me.
And that
than where
pisses
I
you
was
off,
on
doesn't
the day
it?
she disappeared. And again, I'm not saying because Scott's a piece of shit and does the things
Why
he
is he
does
a piece of shit?
that
What does he do?
he's responsible for Summer gone missing. It's not what I'm saying at all. But
What does he do?
it's very interesting how all of the local creeps come out, right?
He makes you look like a fool. That's what he
all of
does.
the local creeps.
Because you
you
are
know.
one.
So many lying that they contact TBI when they don't, and or directing info to the PIs. That thank you, Sage Sleuth. Yeah, I have always been so big on the TBI. I've never understood sending tips to anybody else. That should be illegal. So people should be arrested for receiving tips.
Because
I think, Benny, is there a law for that?
you don't like that other
Like
people
if I
get
sat
information.
here and put a tip line up and said,
That
if
you
you
don't
have any
have.
tips on Summer, don't you think that's illegal? If someone was to bring me a tip,
I
Like,
think
is
I
there a
don't know
law?
that there's an actual ordinance for it, but I know that even
Really?
on, you know, there were things on the findsummerwells.com that,
Yeah,
you know,
I know.
suggested Chris and Trudy had their own private tip line for those in the holler that didn't want to actually call the police and worry about getting traced or any of that stuff, you know. So
And there's nothing wrong with
If,
that.
see, I think it can work to to the benefit, right? So maybe they wouldn't want a law in place, but it's such a fine line, right?
it's ethically problematic, I would say.
I would
Like,
say
I don't
so.
want to handle
Baby,
tips
you
at all.
learned a new word.
No, I'm not here
So-
for that.
Speaking of that, real quick, I know you were talking about Crystal. We can go back to that because I would actually like to
Sure.
address that situation. And I don't know what's going on with that either, but we could sure try to figure it out. So Sheila, I agree with you. The timing of 423 Chase putting up his YouTube channel is so sketch, but this is the thing. You'd have to be a little bit extreme or an extremist of sorts. And I had to talk my own self out of this. I'm not calling you that. To believe that anybody would know Summer's case would take shape the way it did on YouTube. So I feel like, so Chase's reason for starting his YouTube channel on the 4th of June of 2021 was because he couldn't get into his old account he had. He said he just used it to listen to music. But when he came to YouTube, his name was 423 Chase, and Summer loved Paw Patrol, and chase on the case, right? So this is the problem. It's strange, right? It's definitely, you should question it. I don't know what to say about that. Like, I don't want to sound crazy. Like, how
You
would
are crazy,
anybody
though.
have known
So why not sound
YouTube
it?
would have taken Summer and just scooped her up right under their wing? You know what I mean? Like, no one could have expected that. Or, like, I would think Facebook, before I would think, like, YouTube would be. But how would anybody have ever known? That would mean that there was a plan for YouTube. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just kind of like it's like a thought that's not irrational at all to have, because everybody
Tiffany,
thinks that they're
you're
like,
using
why did he
logical
start his
thinking.
channel
Do you have
right
a fever?
before she went missing? It's so strange. Why was his name?
Well, I mean, you had a connection between of some sort between many pivots that were, that were known by Brad. Specifically Linda, Gene. There were connections for him. Probably people, that said, "Hey."
And this has nothing to do with Scott. Whatever. And I love the desperation. If you had
she did get scooped up by the
anything
internet,
credible to discredit
I think that
Scott,
there were so many crackpots that saw it as an opportunity
you would run with
to get
it.
paid.
This is just so grasping at straws.
Or further agenda of some sort.
Yeah, your agenda.
Luda,
Your agenda
I'm gonna
to
agree with you on
discredit
that.
Scott.
It's
Because
my
Scott,
only
like
my
myself,
opinion here is she says it's
sees
mind
people
blowing
for
that Adrian
exactly
forgot to mention
what
living
you
close
are.
to Gene. I mean, she
And I
knew before
wish
others. I don't know.
the true crime
When I
community
listened
would
to
wake
that
up
call, I could actually hear myself
and
like,
quit giving
what?
these absolutely
I
shady
was shocked
grifters
in that moment to know
credibility.
that Adrian knew and never said a word. That was really shocking. And I was astounded that she wouldn't tell people. I don't understand that. Things that have been kept for whatever reason, I don't know. Maybe not even nefarious, just because they didn't think to tell
I think
anybody.
Adrian actually
that's a big deal.
did not hate Scott on their command.
It
was
blows
her
my mind
mistake.
too, Luda. Yeah.
And
there's other things. There's other things Adrian knows that she doesn't say that she really should. Yeah. I'll end it there.
Yeah,
and that's a compliment to Adrian,
No,
actually.
That's just me.
And I'm not a big fan of the whole
my opinion. That don't have anything to do with Benny.
database thing, but I will have to say that gives me more confidence.
How did he end up with
Adrian.
allegedly Summer's favorite cartoon? I don't know. Explain in a sense. That's what I was wondering. Who showed you Chad? No one showed him to me. Lippy. So this is how it went down. Ziggy found out his name, and she went and found his mom. Valerie, yeah, but that was a lie. The muffler shop number was a lie. Because I checked. The billboard did not have a muffler shop. Teresa says, I never imagined we'd still be here today wondering where Sweet Summer Moon is. Me either.
Yeah, and Scott said he possibly bought a truck from Don. I mean,
yeah.
If you did or you didn't, right? I mean, there's no possibly. It's if you did or you didn't. That's like not knowing what Andy drove 16 months later, 18 months later. It's the same thing, right? Like, I'm guessing the fact that you even brought it up.
I don't remember who it was from.
Did, right? Okay, so you bought a truck from Don. These people.
What if he did? What does that say about his character? Absolutely nothing.
I don't want to say that these specific
openly admits that he hung around shady people in his younger years and had a problem with
these
alcohol.
People that we've talked about this morning are not slick people.
And neither are you.
Why you look at
you
their
are so
transparently realize that they do
shady.
Not have
I cannot
any
believe
sort
that
of criminal
rational-minded
what they're
people
good at is getting caught doing
believe
crimes.
the crap you throw up on the internet every
that's
day.
A fact.
It blows my mind.
Scooter Pie, thank you so much, hon. Linda was present at the Carly Trent celebration when they found her. What, Penny? Really? Did she say that? So Linda knows the Vallens very, very well. She knows all the people.
Well, I mean, so then you got to ask yourself, who told Linda that Don left at 3:30 that day? Who told Linda that?
I would love to know, because I remember that day very well. That was in the very beginning, because I remember Penny did a live on that with Scott.
What does it matter? None of this
They did a
is going
live,
to find Summer.
and she went over like the roads and
none of these
how long
people
it would
know
take,
where she
right,
is.
Penny? Am I
There's
remembering
no
this correctly?
evidence
He went over
in
all
her
that.
case to point it in any direction
I don't know.
all.
Maybe Penny knows more about stuff.
Because
with
if some of these shady characters had any credible information with that reward money being
I
offered,
don't think anybody knows Linda like they
forward.
think they do. Guessing Linda's supposed to be babysitting kids and probably lurking from the bushes watching us now.
Absolutely. You know she is.
Absolutely. You know she is. She don't miss a show.
Linda, come on in.
I'm watching you.
Wow.
Well, I'm
There's so
watching
many
the replay.
shady people, though, and this is the thing, like
Only
Benny had said before,
because
so many people accuse YouTubers of,
the
harming
pickings were so
Summer's case.
slim.
No, I think your problem is all these weirdos
Curiosity.
that are hiding in the woods
never
out there
ceases
in
to
Hawkins
amaze me that
County
people
and Sullivan
actually
County, the
think
weirdos of
you
the
have something
community.
to offer. And I just like to
There's
come in and
a
read the
few
comments
here, a few there,
to see maybe
and
if I
whatever
can
you
wrap
got
my
going
head
on,
around the
it's looking
phenomenon
really shady, and
or understand it.
I'm always feeling like, somebody
Like people
knows
are
something.
involved, but not involved in actually searching and looking. You just involved in running interference online.
Yeah.
And you're just involved in trying to lead people
interfering with. I don't think this is
into
I
drama
don't think Al Pacino and Marlon Brando
to
put this
line
together
your
in the
own
beginning.
freaking
I don't
pocket.
think it's that. I just think it's a bunch of dumbasses that sit on the couch or scam.
just like you
Like,
do
oh shoot, I could jump
on
in
your
here
mama's
and
couch
monetize me a channel.
and get high.
Chase Levitz, no, he didn't.
And these
No,
people
he
put
didn't.
you on a pedestal.
Where'd you hear that? I gotta correct it only because I can't have that at 19 months in my chat. People will. Where'd you hear that, Chase? Do you have that on recording? If you do, send it to me, but I need that to be removed from my chat.
Oh yes, remove it because
Yeah,
I
right.
cannot have
Right, Fizzle. They want to make some changes
anything
on YouTube, but won't make
that
any
the
changes
TBI
in their
hasn't
community
approved
to advocate for
on my
somebody.
chat.
I know. So, all right, hold on. Let me go back to. We got way off track, but hold on one sec.
Oh yeah, we forgot about Ziggy, didn't we?
We did well, I don't even really want to go back to her. Do you want to discuss Crystal?
That's fine.
Ziggy, I don't even want to really play what she said. I really don't. I think it was so rude, and I don't deserve that from Ziggy.
And it's the sort of thing you would expect out of Sissy, right? The complete sexualization of people that, aren't even there to defend what she's saying,
Okay, Chase Levitz, if you find that, let me know. And I could always ask Cher if she remembers that, but I don't remember that.
I can tell you that I believe he said
if
that.
you find it, send it to me or something. So
In
I
fact,
can
I'm
see
almost
and we can talk
100%
about it.
positive.
Fizzle says Summer won't be found till Beach Creek ones are found, which was said by Scott H.
Yeah,
We
nice,
got way
Josh.
I don't think Summer will be found until they
Yes,
extend
Scott
the
H said in the
search.
beginning, on
Guess he's
greater
not a
than
real
4
religious
miles.
man.
How many young children have been found greater than 4
Kind of
miles?
seems like God has the last say.
She knew that she was going to be in
Listener
big
on
trouble.
this case, it is
if she
Lightning Blue Phoenix. I was sick
went
to my
out
stomach
of
last
her
night
yard.
when I went to bed. I slept
She
horrible.
was probably scared,
I was
desperate
so
to get home, and
upset
was going in
after
the
what I
wrong
saw, and
direction. She
I'm
probably
about to bring it
followed
up
one of the
in a
dogs
minute, but,
out further than she knew where she was.
God, I don't even want to do. I don't know. I
Maybe.
don't know about. I'm like a little
That's
sketched out
where
by
I'm
that one, too,
going
because of
at this point.
Carl.
Either that or
I don't even
someone
want to
saw
talk
her
about him. All right, so
when she was down by the driveway or
go
something and picked her
here.
up. And what evidence would
so
that leave?
basically, in a
I mean,
nutshell,
it
you
would take
guys, with
30
Ziggy,
seconds. They'd be gone. And,
she was
as
extremely
long as they kept
distasteful.
their mouth shut,
and
no one would ever
you gotta
know.
go watch it yourself. But the things that she said are just
But
inappropriate,
all this
and
other
I'm
gossip
not
and
going
drama
to
and
entertain her bullshit.
directing people
Alright,
this
I
way
gotta
or
stop
that
real
way,
quick,
what
'cause I
with
wanna.
to me is so obvious, but you think you're
find- okay.
slick. It's just stupid. It's
So Crystal's
stupid.
crying time
It's
came back around the other
using
night
a little
on
girl for
Ben,
profit.
in
And
Benny's
it's
chat,
sickening. And
right?
y'all people should be ashamed to even give it
And
credibility, in my personal opinion.
she's uploaded some things
And the same
in the
people
last
I
month.
see
She was
over
gone
in
for a little while.
Scott's chats,
All right,
I see
she
over
put
here.
out a recording of Penny, a conversation with Jody Sue.
Giving these people credibility, because I can't
And
say anything
then
about being over here because
there's
I'm over
this
here too.
blackmail video with Jody Sue, but at the same
But it
time,
just
she
blows my
wants
mind.
help from
And so, when you can't
certain
understand something,
creators, but
that's
she
what
also wants to bite their head off
the
at the same
things I
time.
can't understand
So
drive me crazy.
she'll argue
That's why I'm
with
interested in true
herself
crime,
live
because I don't
instead
understand how
of
people
trying
just
to
sitting
talk
on a
to people.
couch
She
one day
can't
and say,
even have a
I think I'll
conversation
go
with
out and kill
herself in
20
her own
people.
chat without being confrontational. So that's a problem, and I can't work with somebody like that or help them in any way. So, how do you work with somebody if they're so confrontational?
Well, she had a little airplane bottle
Oh,
of
you're not
Summer's house back in
confrontational,
the
are
back
you?
there. So
No.
Did she?
I don't know if that was part of the problem. Maybe it was somebody else's in the house. I don't know.
There's so much
All right,
here.
I'm getting nauseous.
Wow.
You get my point.
And as you can see, she's pretty
Scott
bad.
H, keep doing what you're doing.
Okay, so what she's doing is
Because
Crystal's
it
going
really
over
bothers these people.
um
Y'all have a good day. Bye.
the same stuff she was doing before.